Okay, that was a really, really good job by our defensive coaches, making an adjustment at halftime, and then our players taking the information from the locker room to the field to shut them down. And obviously we rushed the ball very well. They got after us pretty good in the second quarter, got us tired and ran the ball down our throat. We made the adjustments at halftime, came out and made plays, which was awesome by our defense and mainly our coaches for their adjustments. And then we were able to make some big plays. They were kind of in an all or nothing defense, basically, to a certain extent, playing a lot of press man. And so you're going to have some good plays, really good plays, and then some not so good plays. So we were able to get the ball thrown down the field a few times and make some plays and grab some, I don't know, 17. They had 17 penalties, so some holdings and all that on two. So it's a good win for us. Got to get a lot better in a lot of different areas. I'm going to look into the unsportsmanlike penalties. We're getting conflict of interest. Our guys are saying one thing, they're saying another, being the referees. So I'm assuming the referees are right, but we'll find out what happened on those. Make sure we get those cleared up.
Like on that defensive exchange, I guess, they come out for a field goal, call timeout, then they come out to go for it, you call timeout, and then you guys blitz on fourth down. Take us through the thought process there, what they were doing, what you were doing.
My call.
All on you, huh?
I said blitz.
You dialed up the blitz?
Mm-hmm.
How often do you get involved in defensive calls like that?
About twice a game.
What was the other time?
I don't remember. It's been so long.
How did that unfold, though, from your perspective? Like, they were gonna do something, and you were okay with them kicking a field goal, and you know what I mean? What were your
Well, the kicker wasn't on the field, I guess, unless they were trying to trick us with running him out and faking it or something. And then they called timeout, and I'm guessing at that point it was a 12-point game, and they realized that 3 points wouldn't do them any good. That's just my guess.
It looked like, when you sat down, it looked like you pointed at 9 for 80 on penalties first on the stat sheet.
Yeah, we had two unsportsmanlikes. So you're looking at, we would be at 50 yards, which is not the end of the world. And those are things that we're talking about. I'm getting a different answer from them than I'm getting from the officials. So I'm going to watch the tape and find out and see where we're going, because we can't give 15-yard penalties up like that. Ridiculous, bumping into a guy running off the field and we get a flag. I mean,
Is that what was alleged on the third down, when you got the third down stop and you got the 15-yard flag? After the play,
some kind of verbal communication. Somebody said something to somebody and didn't like it. They flagged us about 20 seconds after the play.
What was the second half adjustments you made to particularly stop that running game?
Well, they got changed our alignments, got another guy up closer to the ball, and essentially another guy got up in the box. You can ask Jim from the detail part of it, but for the most part, we took another guy out of coverage and put him up in the box to give us another gap. They were pulling a tackle some, and then they were pulling a tight end some. They had a nice little scheme, and they're good at that anyway. And so we got another guy up there where we could track the puller.
in a sense, is this the best case? Well, not a best case scenario, but I mean, it's a positive because you get a win on the road with 17,000 of your people in the bleachers, but you have a million teachable moments
Sure.
in the game before you go to Texas.
Oh, yeah. Well, and there's going to be some. I mean, for the most part, with the exception of 92, the guys playing up front have not ever really played. So there's, they got tired, and they got it broke off in them in the second quarter. But then Jim made adjustments, and we came out and they were better in the second half, a lot better.
Mike, the first thing you said when you sat down here is credit to the defensive coaches. Did you see something out of your staff tonight? Did you see something out of your team defensively that maybe can carry you a little bit into Big 12 play?
Well, as I said, everybody saw what happened in the second quarter. We couldn't stop them. And they came in and made two adjustments and got the information to the players. Players understood it, took it on the field, and they were able to execute. That's coaching. And so I chew on those guys enough, so when they make adjustments like that and it gets carried over, then I like to be able to give them credit. And that's what I told them and told the team. I mean, there's no beating them around the bush. And there's enough times that I chew on them about stuff. And so they did a hell of a job today making adjustments and getting it done in 13 or 14 minutes.
How tough is that, or how common is that?
It's hard.
You talked about game plan, you can't break away too much.
It's hard to do. It is for us, so I don't know about anybody else, but you practice certain things all week. So you can't just all of a sudden change on Saturdays. And they made adjustments within our system that we had. Luckily, we had them in our system that we could go to, but we didn't practice them much. But they got it done, so they deserve the credit, did a nice job.
Mike, this was obviously an emotional week for your team, your program, your school, with the passing of T. Boone Pickens. How did you all sort of use that to sort of help add more intensity? Let's win one for T. Boone, that kind of thing?
I don't, I've never done that, ever. I mean, we just, we believe in the meetings and the practice that day. Everybody has a lot of respect and loyalty for Mr. Pickens, but yeah, I've just never been big on that myself. Let's go practice and let's go play the game.
When your second quarter was not what you wanted, were you concerned at all that you were seeing kind of a replay of what you saw at K-State last year and Baylor last year? And did you kind of address that during the
I did not address those specific situations, but I was sure hoping we could stop the run, because with Phil, that's what they want to do anyway. And they were doing exactly what they wanted to do. They were controlling the clock and rushing the ball and playing fast, and they had us tired. And so at halftime, everybody in this room knew we got to stop the run. But that doesn't mean you can always do it. But they made nice adjustments.
Can you talk about the game that Chuba had and how that played off of what they were doing with Wallace?
Yeah, a lot of what I call high-risk defense, a lot of man coverage, and so you rush the ball and there's nobody there for run support. That's what happens. He's a strong back. So far, he plays good. He plays fast. He's breaking tackles, which is good, and kind of a high risk. Sometimes they stuff you and you don't go anywhere, and otherwise you get big plays. I don't know how many plays we had over 20 yards today. I'm going to guess quite a few. So he did a nice job of running through some tackles.
What did you think of Spencer played?
I thought he played okay. He got flustered in the second quarter a little bit, and I had to calm him down. Very competitive. Wanted to do a couple things different, and we really couldn't do it based on what they were doing. And we got him calmed down. Then he was good. They were bringing the house blitz, and then the next time they did it, he saw it and he took off outside and ran for a touchdown. That's what he should do. And so, he kind of learned and settled down, and he got frustrated, then he settled down again, then he kind of finished good.
So that bootleg was just a reaction off of something he had seen earlier?
Well, they house blitzed him a couple times, and we weren't successful. So he saw it the next time, and there's nobody home, and so he just took off and run around the edge on his own.
Coach, your comment on the impact and legacy that Mr. Pickens has left on this university?
Well, I put out stuff on social media. We could talk all day about what he's done, and it's sad. Mr. Pickens and I went head-to-head a lot. He won most all of them. But I had a lot of respect for him, and I think he respected me. And between Mr. Pickens and President Hargis, Coach Holder, and myself, we won a hell of a lot of football games and been successful. And so I've said this, I said this to Bill 2 weeks ago. He's been his own boss for 70 years. And I've been mine for 15, and so sometimes you have confrontation. But I have a ton of respect, and it's kind of sad, It's sad knowing that he's not there. It really is, and it feels weird. So we're going to have a couple really nice tributes to him, and then I'm sure we'll have some stuff at Karsten Creek and on campus for him to remember his legacy forever.
You were a little short-handed, Mike, on the defensive line. Is the kind of game you had to play and kind of switch, did the depth play a factor in that at all?
We had the guys. We've got depth, we just don't have experience. And we were rotating them in, and they're going to make some mistakes. You don't see it like you do it on the perimeter with quarterbacks or receivers or corners because they're down inside. We know it, but a lot of times you can't see it. They're going to make some mistakes, and they're young. And like I said, the second quarter they got tired and got punished pretty good, but they sure rallied back.
Well, going back to those comments you said about Spencer Sanders, kind of working through those frustrations,
Mhm.
How beneficial is that for him later on down the line to have a game like today where he had to work through this?
All of those things are going to be. That's just part of playing quarterback at this level. Mason used to do it. Corn didn't do it much because he was, been here 5 years and he's seen everything. But when you're a young guy playing, if you're competitive like they are, you want success all the time, and sometimes it doesn't work, especially versus the style of defense that we played today. I mean, it was very high risk, big, or not much at all, and so that frustrated him. But he calmed down, and those things will help him as we go along. Won't be the last time. I mean, he wants to win. He wants to be good, so he'll get frustrated. But he calmed down really well and didn't lose his thought process, in my opinion. So he'll get better as we go along.
You've been through that kind of thing before as a quarterback coach. You ever feel tempted to say, get Drew ready or anything like that? Get the next guy ready, whoever it might be?
Not when he's frustrated with success, not frustrated in a negative way. So you let him go and put him back out there. The next series is when he took off versus the house splits and scored. So he's fine. But what you said's right. It's going to take time, and he has to do those things, and that's just the process you go through when you're a young quarterback.
So Hubbard now has way more yards through 3 games than any other tailback you've ever had. So, I mean, do you have to see him perform at that level at Texas, at Ames, where you'll put him in the elite category, or is he kind of already there?
I mean, time will tell, right? It's going to work itself out. I need him to keep doing what he's doing. We need to keep him healthy. But we like what he's doing. I mean, he's doing a good job, and he's learning too. He's only played in 7 games. I mean, just when you think about that, that's only 7 games for him. So, and he was in Canada before that. So he didn't even get the experience of what kids that play high school football, in the South, in this part of the country. So we'll see where he's at. Time will tell.
Aren't he and Wallace, though, kind of rare in that they're both really consistent with big plays, but they're really good on average plays too, if that makes any sense at all? 4 yards.
Yeah, they're good players. I mean, they're both guys that have the capability of making a big play at any time. They're both guys that need a couple more years of experience in college. I mean,
Have you got to do a point with Hubbard, with Tylen, though, where like the catch, or he made a play on the ball in the end zone and it got knocked out? Or you get a point with him where that just surprises you when he doesn't finish it like that?
when you talking about down here? When he had it?
In the corner to your left.
Yeah, down here where he dropped it. What about it?
Just the fact that he wasn't able to finish it.
You know what? It happens sometimes. He gets grabbed, pulled, yanked, pushed, and sometimes on a guy like him, we used to see that with the other guys that we had. And sometimes they call just so many of them, and some of them they're like, hey, I can't keep calling this. So it's hard on them. But we expect him to make every play every time. It's not possible. But he's a threat, and he's going to draw a crowd, and that's beneficial to our offense.
So do you think that's gonna be a trend though with him this year, that some teams would rather just tackle him and take the 15 than watch him?
Yeah, I mean, so he has 5 catches for 118 yards. How many holdings and stuff did he have? 4?
I think so.
So there's 60 yards. So there's 100, my mass average, but 178. So really he has 9 catches for 178 yards.
40-21 is sort of a normal score for you guys in the last decade or so. But it sort of feel good to know how you sort of needed your defense to pick you up today.
No doubt.
And then it happened.
I feel better now than I have in all these other games that we're in. That's why I started it off. That's what I told them. That's what I told you guys. It's nice for the defense to basically win a game. And that's what they did, right? Because offense did okay in the second half, not great for what we've done in the last 10 years. But the defense went out and shut them down and stuffed them and kept putting us on the field, so they got tired. And it's nice to see that. I mean, that's a good thing. And their defense is good, guys. I mean, I'm just telling you, they were on the field the entire game at Michigan State because they were struggling. I mean, Phil knows that. I'm not saying anything he doesn't know. They stuffed Michigan State, and they stuffed San Jose. I'm not saying that they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm just saying that their defense is pretty dang good now. They're well coached and they're mature and they know what they're doing and they play hard. They're going to have a good year defensively, in my opinion.
Mike, how do you feel about your team going to Austin next week?
We got a lot of work to do, as always. You know, we do what we do. We'll put a plan together in all three phases. We'll be simple. We'll try to stay as fresh as we can, but also get quality work. That's kind of the challenge nowadays with the temperature. You don't want to go. You don't want to play anywhere with when your legs are fatigued and you're dehydrated. So we want to get as much work done as we can, but then also we need to be fresh. Go play and have fun.
Pretty good pick for Big 12. K-State won at Mississippi State. West Virginia knocked off North Carolina State. Kansas wins last night. Iowa State's ahead early right now.
It's awesome.
Is that good, or is that, you think, holy crap, we got to play these guys?
Well, it's good for the Big 12. It's good for all the fans and the media, and not good for the coaches. So I didn't see that. What was the score at Kansas State and Mississippi?
31-24.
Yeah, they played good so far. So league's got some good teams. Obviously, Kansas played good last night. I mean, so 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old kids. I mean,